Hello, my dear listeners and human listeners. I am Fletcher coming at you from the future because we ran into some issues and there is no intro and there is no explanation to what game we are playing. So I just want to let you know that we are playing Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. And we are Pocket Cast. And happy holidays. Thanks for listening. Enjoy. Reverberation.
Okay.
Another sound effect.
Oh.
Not named
I see
after a
now.
person.
I was like, wait,
Amplification.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But like, and
Doppler.
I hear you're upset, and I believe it or not, I understand why. But what you're just describing the nature of what our reality presently is. Like, there are some things that are named after people, and some of them aren't.
Let me be mad.
Well, you want to get super technical and like start looking at like the etymology of words. Everything traces back to another word. Words are just
Doppler
spoken
doesn't.
Legos. Huh?
Doppler doesn't. Not in that situation. Not in that context. It doesn't.
No, all words do.
Not in that context.
No, all words do.
Sure.
Because Doppler is probably a derivative of doppel, right? Which is an old-timey verb that means to doppel. It's something that you could do to someone or something.
With a shoe.
You could doppel them. But yeah, well, of course it's with a shoe.
Specifically, you had to have a shoe.
Well, you can't really doppel without a shoe. I feel like everybody should know that, though, right? That's common knowledge. You need a shoe to
This
doppel.
is what it's like reading like an old like philosophy book. This is where it's just like everything is just assumed that you know what the fuck we were talking about, but it's just madness.
Dude, what's the is it a faux pas to talk about other podcasts on a podcast?
I don't know what a faux pas is.
A faux pas? It'd be fuck.
It's
Don't
like
make me define it.
a fake pas.
No, a faux pas would be like a non-classy, maybe not a bad thing per se, but like a standoffish.
Doesn't look good.
Jesus, why can't I think of another good like word or term for
Cringy.
faux pas? No, like it's like a social no-no.
A cringe.
I mean, potentially, like you're not breaking any laws. You're not necessarily looking bad. It's just like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. Maybe
Cringe?
No, it'd be like something that's impolite or it's a social no-no. That's a pretty good way to
Cringe.
No, I mean, they can be characteristically, but cringe is an adjective, not a noun. Fuck.
Yeah, but the thing about adjectives is that they can also be nouns.
Not all of them. You can't have cringe. A cringe. You can have the existence of cringe.
Yep.
Man,
Thus it's
fuck
a
this
noun.
conversation.
Thus, it's a noun word, boy.
I hate language so fucking
Get
much.
fucked.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Can we talk about other podcasts or not? Fuck.
I mean, I think it's kind of cringe, but I also don't. I think like it's not that bad.
Holy
Like,
fuck! You just because you call, I'm gonna. So was it Sleep With Me podcast?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude! Shout out to Sleep With Me
shout out
podcast,
to Sleep With Me,
the
dude.
greatest podcast ever created.
I fucking love that show,
It's the nicest thing any human being has ever done for other human beings,
dude. And I'm not talking shit about this man. And I cannot for the life of me remember his name.
Scooter.
Is it?
I believe it's Scooter.
I bet it is, dude. But I hear that man's voice in my dreams, dude. And I'm gonna be honest. Not a great sounding voice,
Dude, that dude gave me the inspiration to start a podcast.
honestly. Dude, I remember the first time I heard it, and dude, every time somebody has said, "Hey, you should check out this podcast," I'm like, "It's a weird concept." I'm like, yeah, but like, just commit. Like, I've never had somebody try to sell me on a fucking podcast so hard. It probably was, dude. But then I do the same thing. I'm like, "Hey, check out this podcast," but like, really. Like, I'll text you before you go to bed, like for the next week, and remind you. And you actually have to do it. You can't not do it. And then after a week, everybody's hooked. It's like a weird cult. But like this man's voice, dude, it's so.
unique.
I was gonna say unique is perfect. There's so much character in there. It's not your typical production voice, if you will.
No, and the tonal changes.
Love it, dude.
Yeah,
That's
he
such
has.
a great voice. Honestly, like I know I sounded like I was about to. Are you fucking kidding me? So we're gonna get to our first sponsored ad here. I'm selling my cat.
Don't kill the cat.
I'm selling a cat. He's a pain in the ass. He's pretty cute. He loves to be affectionate. But,
To an abusive point.
dude, it's brutal. Yeah, no, he loves to do the love bites, but he like loves to bite
I meant
my
like
love
he's
handles.
like mentally abusive too. Like if you're
Oh,
not
like
loving
psychological-
me, like he just knocks your laptop on the ground.
Yeah. Hey, Jack. Hey. Fuck you, bro.
He
What a
looks
little,
so
what a
content
little
now.
shit, dude. Unreal.
It's like
He
it's
just
all
like
good now. He didn't even want to be up there.
he just did the cat equivalent of a burnout on top of a stack of shit that I had very meticulously and not precariously stacked on this little fucking table
No,
thing.
you're right. You are right.
Yeah.
It was a nice stack.
And he just burned out on him with his little fucking power legs. Just kicked him off. So yeah, the point that I was making earlier stands, and I think it's a pretty valid point, and I think everyone else should agree with me.
Sleep with me
That
is what
his
you were
voice is
talking
pretty
about.
incredible.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
There
yeah.
you
No,
go.
I stalled long enough. And I was going, and I brought that up specifically, to talk about my other far-reaching point that we're now circling back to that I definitely also remember, which was it's just a good podcast, and I really felt like shouting it out. Apparently,
You just really felt like shouting out.
no,
Sleep
there
With
was
Me
a reason.
podcast,
There
huh?
was it tied
I'm glad
back
you
in.
did because I absolutely
Yeah,
love Sleep
just
With Me.
dying. It's funny
Scooter's
because
amazing.
10 minutes ago I actually thought about. I was like, I'm gonna shout this other podcast out, and I was like, nah, that would be too cringe. Fuck you, Fletcher. and then suddenly I just felt compelled to mention this other podcast, and then not remember why, but it had something to do with Tony Hawk's downhill.
Downhill Jam.
Is it just downhill jam? I thought there was another
Downhill
word in there.
Jam. Yeah.
Was that enough words? Tony Hawk's downhill jam. Yeah. no, I
Is it
think
Pro
that's
Skater? It's not Pro Skater
I don't think this one's Pro
because
Skater.
because it's like a
No.
different series.
Yeah, series. But what was the term
spin-off.
that you had for the categories or the different events as they were called for like the Monster Jam shit, like monster trucks? Like Monster Jam was one of these, like a circuit or something, but it wasn't circuit.
Tour.
Oh, is that what? Oh, is that
Yeah,
it?
because it was
Oh.
Monster Jam
Huh.
something
For some reason I
tour,
was thinking there was a different word for it, but
Urban Tour or something like that.
Tour.
Right.
Oh, Urban Assault.
Urban Assault.
That was the game we played.
Yeah, and then there were tours in it or something like that.
No,
'cause
we were talking about like
we were
Monster Jam is one of
physically.
these. It's like an entity or like a specific series of events, but there are other monster truck events that go by other names. Monster Jam is just one of them.
Yes.
Or I thought that was the point you were making. I also clearly could have missed it entirely.
I don't know, man.
Fuck,
You've lost me,
dude.
so I'm gonna say that you lost it too.
Man, I really need you to be on my wavelength if I'm going to make these like half-assed attempts to reference things that I don't remember very well.
Give me a really vague description of something that you didn't actually say.
I think I might be an emotional leech to my peers.
It's more of a. It's not
Hey, you
emotion as
remember
much
that
as it is like
thing?
intelligence.
Oh, I resent that. I'm a smart cookie.
You represent that.
I represent that. That's not right. No. I don't represent it. I don't represent it at all. I'm not a skateboarder. And then I've accepted it at this point that I never will be.
I would like to think that
I think of you
I'm
as a
accepting
skateboarder.
now as not a skateboarder.
But, see, again, I still like if people are like, "Hey, you know anybody that skates?" I'm like, "Yeah, fucking Fletcher will blow his knee out on the sidewalk any day
Yeah,
of the week."
absolutely. Like I will fuck myself up, but also I think I can barely kickflip. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I can still kickflip. I could never kickflip. I started being able to kickflip after I quit skating.
I don't even know what a kickflip is, so you're ahead of me
Don't
there.
lie to me.
I assume it involves kicking and flipping, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't like if a
Be
guy
left.
is on a skateboard.
If you're playing the game, be left. Is it B that's, or is it?
Nah, so the names of the moves mean nothing to me.
I'm
I
talking.
just know that if I hit a button in a directional input,
If you
I
go
do a
left
trick.
with that when you're doing a flip trick, because there's two buttons, one's for flip and one's for grab.
Right.
If you do the flip trick and you push to the left, that's the kick flip. When it, how do I say this?
Oh, is that the one where you pop the nose up, right? The nose
Nope.
is at the front.
Well, I
of
mean,
the
yeah,
board?
the nose pops off the ground, but
Well,
you're
right,
popping
and
the
then
tail.
and then you kind of swing your forward foot and like sweep the bottom,
Sweep.
and so then it rotates inside once horizontally,
Yes,
and then you land it.
yes,
I know
that
what a
is.
kickflip is.
There you go. Yep.
Hell yeah.
And then the other way is
You
with
do
the
a
heel,
pop, shove it,
and it's a heel
nollie.
flip. Pop, shove it, nollie.
Yeah, into nose grind, tail flip.
What about it?
Are those, am I saying words that make sense?
Say the second, but the first part made sense. The
Bro,
nollie,
I
the
flew
nollie shove
through
it.
that so fast. I wasn't taking notes. I don't know.
Nollie
What
shove
I said.
it. You did.
I
Great
said
job.
I said a pop, shove it, nollie into a nose grind, tail flip.
Everything but tail flip is.
Ah, damn. That sounds good though to the uninitiated.
Oh, that was almost a claw deep into my arm. But
I
it
saw.
wasn't.
I don't know what he was grabbing onto because that is not.
He got onto my sweater. He saw my sweater. and I
Ah,
was
the
like, I can
holes
use
of
that
my
to climb up.
sweater. Oh.
What are you singing? Is
Ooh,
that a real
oh,
song?
Ooh, oh, oh. Yeah, dude, the holes in my sweater. Or I don't know if that's the name of the song, but that's like the defining line in the song for me.
No recognition to that one.
I bet if I played it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know that song."
Speaking of which, the music in this game was
Fire.
phenomenal.
Yeah, actually, really good. And again, putting to shame a lot of these other titles that because sometimes you just forget that it can do these things, and so then you get these titles that just are just weeping into a shitty pickup, and they're like, "Yeah, that's our soundtrack," and then you've got like, "Hey, we've got fully licensed music, and it's kick ass."
Yeah, these are real bands playing real songs. You can hear the words they are saying.
Yeah, no, it reminds me the like the first time I loaded up. Oh dear goodness, it's the game where we're solving puzzles and it's
Professor Layton.
Professor Layton, yes, and the Curious Village, and they've got like full dub. I was like, you can do human voice. What? Holy shit!
Yeah, why is
blew my
anyone
mind.
doing this?
Yeah, I wonder if there's just like some crazy production overhead or something to.
Yeah, I
incorporate
think that there was definitely way less money going into making these games than what there were on the other things that people were working on.
Absolutely.
Because I think you could absolutely have a almost fully voiced game. Maybe not fully, but because you got to think about how much room it takes up on that little cart.
Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, and you're probably especially with a handheld title, you're probably wanting to reuse as many of the same assets as possible.
Yeah,
cut down your file size and stuff. I mean, all that shit's pretty compressed anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Again, this is where my technical knowledge of the platform fails considerably. But even still, they crammed a buttload of delicious goodies into this game. I was actually quite impressed.
Well, and it didn't take a hit. Well, it did take a hit. Because I would say it didn't take a hit visually because the graphics are still.
No, it honestly looked pretty good, yeah.
But then you get into the FPS issue.
Yeah, the performance. I was not expecting competitive like racing. I expected downhill something. I expected very arcadey, not really indicative of your kind of button. I'm going to use button mashing lightly because you're not necessarily button mashing, but you are slamming combos in there in pretty quick succession. Like it's a Tony Hawk game, simplified down a little bit.
Yeah,
but even still, like there's quite a bit to unpack in there, and I was definitely impressed by that. But
then
the performance,
when you're racing against, because if you're going by yourself or against just one other person, it's not bad.
No, it seems to be pretty okay. But then you get into those like you have 3 AI opponents.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Trying to do a Burt slide around a corner when there's 3 other people doing the same thing.
It just slows down. And you're like, okay, and then it just speeds back up again. And you're like,
shoots
wow.
you out some way.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully that works out.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I let go of the buttons 2 seconds
I really
ago.
Liked because there's certain play styles, right? There's the story mode and then there's the jam mode.
Yeah.
Jam mode is the way to go.
Jam mode's pretty
it's
tight.
Just classic Tony Hawk. you'll get this many points, do these certain
Yep.
goals, and you'll advance to the next map. That's way more enjoyable. I did enjoy the story mode where it had you doing different things. But so the thing, here's how it works: is you start out in San Francisco,
Right.
and you have it's the tutorial, like they're telling you all the things you got to do, and then you have to complete this entire list to compete against the same chick 3 times in 3 different competitions. And you're trying to get her to join your crew by doing this. But before even getting to those, every single thing that you're doing to unlock, whether it be do a backflip over the stairs, get big air 5 times or for 5 seconds worth of time, things like that. Finish first in the race,
Right.
which is hard when it's lagging so bad. But
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
so with some of those, it's fine when they're short. But when I've now played through this map fucking 20 times to be able to get to the next map,
Yeah.
that was a little long-winded. And so that's why
Yeah.
I really liked the downhill jam, where you could pretty quickly grind out to the next level and see what it had to offer. I liked that a lot more.
Yeah. I was surprised. I don't want to say this because I don't want to get roasted, but I was surprised at the difficulty. I initially tried to play it on a mobile emulator, and because I was kind of expecting some stylus, some touch play. No, none at all.
No, this
Which-
ain't Skate.
No, but I'm kind of bummed about it. I think it would have been really cool.
There was some touch in the sense of the menus.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. I was but yeah, and all your directional input is via the D-pad, and so when you have the physical D-pad where you can just kind of mesh over them, or you get to the point where you can hold left and up, left down. You get your corner inputs down pretty well, and it's pretty comfortable. But doing that on a flat screen, on a relative D-pad, it's impossible. That shit doesn't work.
And you have to use the L and R buttons, and I could see that being difficult.
Yeah, it does not translate on not at all.
Yeah.
No. But on the DS itself, I mean, aside from the performance issues when you're doing those 4 people races, it was honestly pretty, like, I was pretty impressed technically by the game.
Yeah.
There was much more going on than I thought it would have.
I totally agree with the difficulty. Whereas for me, the first time I was playing it, I was actually doing pretty well. I thought the difficulty was moderate.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize you have to save your progress. There's no autosave.
Oh, yeah, I did that too.
So then the second time I came in, I couldn't do anything. I was losing all the races. Then it came to do
shit.
challenging the chick, and I couldn't fucking beat her at anything.
Damn.
I was getting my ass kicked too. So no roasting there. The difficulty was, and because even when it wasn't against a lot of people, there was an input lag, maybe it's due to you not being able to tell how far off the ground you were necessarily. Something was off a little bit.
Yeah,
I also
could
say
relate
this
to
coming
that.
from a lot of Tony Hawk experience,
Yeah.
and recently a good amount of Tony Hawk American Wasteland on the DS. And that's what I can't wait to get to,
Oh,
because
shit.
I don't know which one came out first. I think that one came out before this one.
This one was 2006.
I don't know
when the other one came
time
out.
wise. It might have been around the same era or same time. I mean, but like either way, it helps that it's not flat. I mean, it's not downhill, and it's open
Yeah.
world. So you
Yeah.
can just cruise around, do some tricks, pick up a mission, go back around, get a feel for some things, and it feels 100% like a straight port from.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This one was pretty dumbed down, and I haven't played a lot of. I've played a couple of other Tony Hawk games. Again, I couldn't tell you which ones, but yeah, you mostly have what you can do: flips and spins, and then you basically hold the spin button and a directional input, and it'll do a type of trick.
You mean
spinning.
in this game?
in this one? Yeah.
No.
Wasn't it? No, what was it?
So I mean, you're kind of right. There's grab and there's flip.
Oh, grab and flip. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
L and R in the air do rotate you. So you can add that spin adds to your combo.
Yeah.
If you're doing a trick, it's directionally based,
Yep.
right? If I'm holding up and I hold grab, I'm going to do a nose grab. If I'm holding back and I hold grab, I'm going to do a tail grab.
Right.
If I'm holding to the right, I'm doing indie. That's when you grab the inside of your board.
Oh, okay.
If I push that grab button twice, it will do like a further extension of that trick. Whereas the indie, I don't remember what it's called, but like instead of just being it where you're just like keeping your knees crouched and grabbing it, you're shooting your legs out and still grab it onto the board.
Oh.
You need more air to be able to do those tricks.
Right.
But they also
have a longer
bring you
recovery
bigger.
time.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that little
Same
trick.
for the flip tricks. Kick flip, you can do a double kick flip. So it's just your feet will go out a little bit further and it will
spin the board
twice.
Oh, no shit.
Then you throw your rotate in on that, and then that adds onto your combo. Land that into a manual, and then once again directional, and you push the manual button while you're holding that direction.
Yeah.
And it will switch to like a dark slide or something like that.
What
the dark slide? It seemed like it just gave you a speed boost too.
That's okay.
Do you know what dark slide is? I say that. I like that's when you're skating along. You go to do like a kick flip. But you don't really leave the ground, and you just flip the board halfway over, so it's upside down. You have 1 foot underneath the front of it, and 1 foot on the back tail of it, and you're sliding on your grip tape. That's a dark slide.
Oh,
because your grip tape is black usually.
Yeah.
Right, and they.
Why would you do that?
It looks cool as fuck.
Okay, my bad.
It is cool as fuck.
Yeah,
because you're not using your wheels. You're like, your feet aren't touching the ground still. Your board is the only thing on the ground. You just have so much momentum that you can just quickly flip it over and then flip back onto your board.
That's crazy.
That's Rodney Mullen. Rodney Mullen.
Oh,
you have to ask who did that.
No, I was gonna ask, wouldn't that fuck up your board?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay, yeah.
It definitely would have some damage to it, but. Looks cool,
Yeah, I mean, fuck yeah, dude.
And if you're skating hard enough, often enough, you're gonna go through that board, anyways.
How long does a good board last?
It depends on who you're talking to and how hard they skate. I bet with like DK, when he was avid skating, a good deck, I'd say a month at the most.
Jesus, is he skating every day or what?
Yeah, and also a deck, like a good deck is like $30 maybe.
That's not horrendous. That's about as much as YouTube Premium. Fucking animals. Jesus.
Yeah, so you could be out doing cool kick flips and shit, or you could be buying YouTube Premium.
Yeah, I could be draining my HSA account in all of the hospital fees, or I could have YouTube Premium, which I just cannot bring myself to do.
No one can. They're gonna lose that battle,
dude. It's
ad blocker for life.
I've never gotten ad blocker to work for YouTube ads, and I have ad blocker.
What?
We'll convene after this.
Yes, we will.
I need to finally figure that. I'm 32, dude.
Yeah,
and I work in tech.
Yeah, I was gonna say
this is bullshit.
There's no way I should have this figured out, and you shouldn't.
Truth.
The roles are reversed here.
Yes, help me escape our Google overlords.
Fucking A. Something interesting that I felt like I knew this fact once I heard it, but while doing some research on this game, I heard it again. So this is actually what the first Tony Hawk game, when they first were making it, this is how they had envisioned it.
Oh, really?
Was as like a downhill jam race thing. And the downhill jam was because on the first Tony Hawk game, one of the last level that you play is downhill jam. I don't think there's other people. I don't recall. I don't think so. But it's like in this. The last level I think that you unlock in this game is that level redone for this.
That's fucking cool.
And it's in the same vein, where it's all downhill. You got to hit all these different point things by the time you get to the bottom of it, and yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. That
is really cool.
This is how that could have. It's a good thing. It's not, that this wasn't how, because there's something so nice about the flat land and being able to go and hit all these different things and not being like, oh, I missed that spot. I'm never going to see that again. I can't
Right.
backflip over that and get my gap deal. You know, or
Yeah. You can go back up. Like,
you can.
you can turn around, which I thought was interesting. I really thought it was going to railroad you into not somehow. But
Well, there's free ride too.
true.
And the console versions, there's no free ride.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Then, like, I saw another video talking about how faithful of a port this was.
That's really cool. That's wild.
Like, the level, because not all of the levels that are in this are in the console ones, but the ones that are like really good.
That's kind of cool.
Which, and looking at what we watched earlier with the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Color, not a good example, but the Game Boy Advance, Tony Hawk,
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys want to see something crazy? Like, if you know anything about video games, like if you've turned like a handheld system on before, go check that out. Which one was it? Was the Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 on the GBA.
Yeah. What the fuck? That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I clicked on the video and I was like, I think you're having me click on the wrong video here. No, that's the right one.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude,
there's no way.
That's what it looked like, and
That's insane.
I remember that because it's at an isometric view, and that really sucked. Even watching the video now with you earlier, it made me like a little nauseous.
Yeah, I could, yeah, no, those types of, when you need that depth perception, you're like, I have done this half pipe 15 fucking times in a row just trying to get this item in the air, and I swear to God I'm underneath of it. And then you move like 10 feet the wrong direction, and then you're like, oh, I got it. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
That's where they fucked up with Spyro on the handhelds too, because the GBAs is like that too, where it's isometric, and it's just, it's a platformer.
Rough. Yeah, you can't, dude, ISO and platforming don't really mix.
No.
Which is too bad, because I do like ISO. Like, I think it looks nice. Did you ever see or play Octopath Traveler?
Yes.
God,
That's
gorgeous.
not ISO. It's like 2.5D.
Well, but it's both. It's 2.5D, but it's still shot like in an ISO perspective. Because there's still depth. It's kind of like 2D side scroller depth, and that you go up the screen.
Okay.
To go back.
You're saying then that like literally any 2D RPG is also an isometric.
Oh well, fuck. I mean, if you're gonna put me on the spot, it kind of maybe that is what I'm saying. That's not what I want to be saying though.
No, I don't think it counts as isometric. Isometric is when the camera is always fixed at that like 45 degree angle in the corner.
Yeah, am I thinking of something else then?
Yeah, Octopath Traveler.
This is an episode of me just randomly shouting out spontaneously things that my brain is just like scuttled up to the front. Or like, talk about this. Okay.
I like Octopath. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's go. Yeah, great game. I'm not like uber passionate about it.
Still haven't gotten very far into it.
Yeah, I haven't played it in quite a long time. My second playthrough, I got significantly farther than I couldn't tell you where. I don't remember.
Yeah, you have a second playthrough. That's pretty good.
Well, not like a playthrough, like the second attempt at picking the game up. To play it. Sorry,
okay.
clarification there.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
trying to like build yourself up. There
no, not even. Just a slight faux pas of language.
If you say faux pas one more time,
faux pas,
smack you with these faux pas. Catch these.
Yeah, so catch our Patreon store. Faux pas will be back in stock next week. Get a BOGO deal going for the holidays.
Buy one mitt, get the other mitt free.
Yeah. Dude, there's this line. You ever just have like these iconic lines of dialogue or one-liners from a movie or from a show or game or whatever, and it just
resonates.
It just seared somewhere random in your brain for no reason and just sticks with you. There's this line, I think it was from like was it Pajama Sam? Is that the game?
Yeah, I think yeah.
I think there's a Pajama Sam game where there's a line where this character says something about like, hurry, there's a blue light special on aisle 3. Buy one sock, get one free. And I don't remember how to do most basic math, but I'll carry that to my grave. I've got that on lock forever. Even the voice, like somebody.
Dude, that is a long line to have burned.
It's a pretty significant
That
chunk
is.
of dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure it's from a Pajama Sam game.
I believe you, absolutely.
Yeah.
It sounds right. The weird voice and the
Yeah, and
riddly
that's exactly what he
talking.
sounded like too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good
He was
stuff.
probably purple.
Probably.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and play some of those old, like
They
half
just
educational
put the whole
games.
collection of those games on Switch, I want to say, or maybe it
really?
was PC. Somewhere they released like a remaster. I don't know if it's a remaster.
Yeah,
They look great
compilation.
still. They're all hand drawn, animation. I'm sure it looks great.
Yeah, I remember Pajama Sam.
Putt Putt.
Putt, dude.
I remember Putt
Putt
Putt.
Putt goes to the moon.
I feel like there's a couple other ones in there. There's the rabbit and I don't know if it's a bear or who he's with, and they're like detectives or something like that.
Oh shit. Yeah, I have no idea. I know exactly.
But I think
what
they're
you're talking
part of
about,
that
though.
same group of games.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called that made those.
You ever play Mavis Beacon teaches typing for kids?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Fuck, I want to go back and
We
play
had
that game. I haven't
slam
been able to
dunk
find
typing.
it. Ooh, slam dunk typing.
Yeah.
Sick.
I was a prolifically terrible typer up until moving out here and playing RuneScape.
Yeah, dude, you gotta sell that shit, and you gotta be able to type it quick.
To be able to type fast.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
So-
That'll turn you into a fucking 100+
It was
WPM
wild. I
real
went
fast.
from being like, I think I did fail the typing class in 6th grade. Like no one had ever failed it. I failed it.
Dude, you fucking.
And then by the time that I was out here and in like 7th grade typing classes, I was fucking killing it. And that was all thanks to just a summer or two
That's
just
great.
being on the fucking internet too much.
Thanks, Jagex.
Yes, thank you for my
Thanks for being there for us when we needed you the most.
words per minute.
Words per minute.
There we go.
I taught myself. I always thought like I still see this memory as a victory in my eyes. Like I pulled one over on my mom because I remember we had a shitty fucking family computer that I honestly to this day don't understand why we had it. Like we weren't connected to the internet. We weren't really allowed to play games or anything like that. There was no point in us having this computer, but we did. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, you should let me use the computer. She's like, no. I was like, well, I just thought I was going to practice my spelling words, but I thought maybe I could teach myself to type them, and that would help me really like focus on the words, and I would memorize how they're spelled and also learn how to type at the same time. And she was like, fine, but only to write out your spelling words. I was like, ha, you dumb bitch. Ha, sneaky boy. I got access to the computer. And that's how I learned how to type.
And all you were allowed to do was type.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, that changed at some point. Not by like a whole lot. Like we had dial up at one point for a while that I tried to watch some naughty videos a few different times, and I just could never get them to load. It was just hours of frustrating suffering. Just not like you'd get like the first 3 or 4 seconds of a video to buffer out, and that's it. And maybe you'd have like a nipple in there.
I think when we had dial up, I'm sure I was watching porn, right? But like, I don't think they had videos. I don't think there was streaming video. Because like, I'm sure that like porn sites beat YouTube to it.
Just video streaming.
Yeah, if you look at anything as far as the history
Yeah.
of the internet goes, it all comes from porn sites. Like they do everything first.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pornography. The sex industry.
Yeah.
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 The
Like,
sex for money industry.
that's where buying things online started.
Oh yeah, dude. If we can. Yeah, we were buying pussy on the internet before you could buy bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah. By a long time.
Actually, bread was probably a lot later down the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
but-
That's probably pretty recent. I don't know. Probably, I mean, there was probably some guy selling his own bread
Just
online on like
davesbread.org.
that early internet, like someone's just tiny shitty .net site of them selling their fucking homemade whatever. And I think
Jesus.
that's what it was, like a lady selling her. It was the original OnlyFans. Like she was taking the pictures, and then I think what it became was that other women were sending their pictures to her to have her sell them.
Oh, is that the world's first hot or not site?
Basically, I guess. But
SusansLadies.net.
hell yeah. Oh, I bet that's exactly what it was called
Oh,
too.
dude, I'd be a subscriber. I remember my first access to naughty media was through Newground.
Yeah,
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds.
Yeah, dude.
God, you were so late to the game. It's so funny.
I know, and that like for me that was like eighth or ninth grade.
Yeah, that's late to the game.
I know, dude. I know, but I was like, I remember being at one of my buddy's house, because we were allowed to go over there, and we could play like Dance Dance Revolution and shit like that. And I remember, like one day he just happened to say like, oh well, we can just use the computer. We could look something up on whatever it was, and I was like, oh yeah, wouldn't that be cool? And he's just like, I mean, it's right there. And I was like, wait, you just have a computer down here just hooked up to the internet and you can just get on it whenever and like your parents don't care? He's like, yeah. And I was like, could we forego our previously agreed upon plans to perhaps explore that a little bit?
Can you
he's
show
like,
me the
"Yeah."
internet?
Oh, dude. And that was like the first thing we did was go into Newgrounds, watch a bunch of probably stick fight videos,
Yeah.
and then it's
Play some
probably
games
some weird
that also
scat
have
porn.
some like porn as of,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's always some. Dude, dating sim games. I was hella into those, dude. I'm like working out for 4 days, going to my job for 2 days, sleeping, making money, getting those stats up, trying to woo the ladies.
The cat girls.
Dude, I fucking loved those games. And honestly, like, pretty indicative of what I like in games even to this day. Like, I love to see the numbers go up. I love a good progression. And I just want to succeed
And a waifu.
in life in general. Yeah, and if there's a waifu at the end of the tunnel, sign me up.
I
like
always
boobies.
think about the game. I think it was a game or a clip. I don't know. But there's like smell vision or something that this guy gets. Instead of getting like X-ray vision, he gets
Smell
like,
vision?
screwed over and gets smelled vision. And you just see like everyone farting everywhere all the time.
Oh, that'd be
It's
horrendous.
hilarious.
That's, oh, God, dude. Peak internet.
And I always think about, is there just some guy in here, like when I'm at the bar working,
Who could just see all the
who can
farts.
just see that it's just me?
Some weird form of fucked up synesthesia.
Yeah, like, there's this old game, like I don't know if it was like A Dog's Life or just called Dog or what the fuck ever it was, but you played as a dog,
Oh, big surprise.
and you have like smell vision,
Okay.
Right.
A dog. Yeah, sure. I get it.
and like different smells have different colors. So that's how they see,
Okay,
they see
yeah.
just like they see like clouds of color. So I just imagine that everyone has their own different color and shade to their color. of,
All
like,
those
what their
crystal
farts
girls are wrong. That's not your
It's
aura.
not my
That's your
aura. It's
fart,
my fart
aura.
cloud.
Your fart cloud. Yeah.
It's burnt onto me.
Yeah, just baked into your essence. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's you are what you eat.
There's just one dude just sitting there, just like, I've been given this knowledge and this power. I can't call anyone out on it,
No,
but I know. And you just see just like the people, like the dude and the chick that are the two hottest people in the bar, and they're just fucking
just the shittiest fart
fart
cloud
clouds.
auras. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Beautiful people have dog shit diets,
Yeah,
and that's canon.
that's cute. You can quote me on that.
See, me with my dump truck of a body actually treat it like a temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only take in whole organic foods in their unprocessed form. I don't wash my vegetables. I eat them with the dirt on. And
Me and this man ate at a fucking gas station and a Taco Bell today.
yeah, okay, but those little fucking whatever those things were that I
little
know I've never
pockets.
seen
Oh,
before.
they were so
That
good.
was so fucking bomb, dude. The one that I had, I didn't even realize it until after I started eating it, was like French toast. Yeah,
What?
bro. Absolutely huge flame. I've been paying the price for whatever that was ever since.
Maybe that's what those
It's been
farts
fantastic.
are from
Oh,
today.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, duh.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I ate at a gas station for breakfast.
Yeah, of
And
course.
eggs.
Yeah, gas station eggs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a step above safety as far as sushi from a gas station goes.
Oh, sushi. Yeah, sushi is
These
a
were hot,
guaranteed crit fail.
Like these were like freshly baked that day. I would
Oh,
say.
that day, yeah,
Yeah.
I would accept that day.
Yeah, maybe not
Fresh.
made. I'm not saying they were freshly made.
no,
that
they were
day.
probably shipped in a week ago, frozen, but they were thawed out and then warmed today.
I am a picky egg eater, and those were decent eggs.
They were
It
no,
did
they
not
actually I
gross
was
me out. They're way
yeah,
better than a
they're-
McDonald's egg.
Yeah,
McDonald's eggs, they freak me. They weird me out.
you talking about like the liquid ones?
No, like I liquid eggs at McDonald's.
Yeah, so liquid. McDonald's uses both liquid eggs and like actual eggs, like
Oh
in the
yeah,
shell.
there's the liquid egg when it comes out in like that bar, like when you have it on a sandwich and it's just like a perfect.
Yeah, the folded egg.
Flat.
Yeah,
Ugh,
it's just that yellow
it's so gross.
sponge cake.
Yeah, dude, that's nasty.
I fuck with it, dude. I would.
The
So
texture is a big thing for me, and that is not.
no,
a good
I
texture.
I get that. There's I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, and it's an Asian culture thing. I don't know which
the
specifically.
folding of the egg.
Yeah, where they've got like
where
those
they
square
have-
pans and
they like
yeah,
push
just
them
keep
to the
pouring
side
the egg
and,
in.
yeah,
And it just rolls on itself.
yeah.
And I love that because then you get like just these layers of like, it's basically like a good McDonald's folded egg, but with many more folds.
Yeah.
And dude,
I like the way
I
it
just
looks.
like eggs.
I think
yeah.
I made them for Ren after seeing that TikTok video. I made them like that for Ren.
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, just
Like
to,
how
just
you
to do it.
can. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I was like, yeah, those look cool. But I can also tell just by looking at those, like, that's not the texture. Because scrambled eggs, I really just have to scarf them down. It is hard for me to eat the scrambled eggs by themselves.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, scrambled I can do, but then you talk about like a fried egg, no fucking way I'm eating that by itself.
What about on a slice of toast?
Yes, absolutely. You got
Okay.
the crunch. Like
Yeah.
just straight up just goo. Just
Uh,
warm goo, because if
And I
if
get
your
it.
egg is over easy or over medium, it's not going to be that hot.
I do like a hot yolk.
I want a hot egg, but you never get a hot enough egg. You
I-
can never eat the egg fast enough to not eat cold egg.
Yeah, you're gonna be eating some cold egg. Okay, so I made some pretty bomb breakfast this weekend, and had just like sourdough toast, and then over easy eggs, and some like sausage patties that I pressed.
That's amazing. I love
Just
that. breakfast.
super simple, and I've been eating. Okay, so I accidentally bought like 9 bell peppers last week. That's its own story. So I've been eating a lot of bell peppers lately. I've just been like I'll trim out an entire bell pepper into like one long sheet.
Did you say skin?
I started to say that.
Okay.
That's not what I wanted
Okay,
to
all
say.
right.
But I was kind of hoping we
I don't
could just.
think you're supposed to skin those.
Yeah,
I think you're supposed to eat
skin
the
all
skin
my
on the
food.
peppers. Like maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe that's why they hurt my stomach. It's 'cause I'm
Yeah, you're not skinning
them.
your peppers, dog?
Oh,
Oh.
shit. Okay.
Foolish
I didn't
mistake.
know. I didn't know.
well,
That explains it.
You do now,
That
though. Yeah,
explains a
save your
lot.
tummy next time. Skin your peppers. But I've like sandwich, dude. I'll put a whole bell pepper on a
yeah.
Oh, dude, bell pepper on a sandwich. Oh,
Ham
fuck.
and mustard, maybe some cheese on there, and some
Mhm.
bell peppers, especially if they're orange bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it adds such a good
Oh,
crunch.
you get the crunch. It's really juicy. Like you get the
If you like
sweetness.
me too. Oh, dude. So, do you do a little bit of mustard? On the other side, do a little bit of horseradish.
So okay, so actually, fun fact. So I've got some homemade mustards from the farmers market, that Jan's mustards.
Yeah.
I've got a few of hers, and I've got a jalapeno one, a dill one, and then her take on a stone mustard, like a stone ground. They're good. I like her mustards. They're not crazy unique. It's all It's all the same mustard base
Yeah.
with accents. Is
Okay.
how I describe it.
Yeah.
But they are good. I do like them quite a bit. So I've been using her jalapeno mustard and some mayonnaise, and then I usually do turkey and chicken, and then I have this habanero cheese that I've been using. Oh, and then pickle, and then the fucking bell pepper, and god
That's
damn,
good.
that's a hearty,
That is.
delicious, but like still
Healthy.
semi-light and refreshing.
Yeah.
Because dude, the pepper, man, just adds so much to be desired. I love it.
It does. It adds
Fuck.
such a nice crunch to that sandwich. It
Dude,
is
you
nice.
gotta have a good crunch.
Yeah.
Because I don't like crazy toasted bread on a sandwich. You know, because the shit
I don't
chews
want
up
it to hurt my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got gentle gums, bro.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, but like
Smoked
just
for
a
15
light,
years.
yeah, just a light toast, just enough to give it a little bit of. I want to hold this sandwich in one hand. You know, I don't want that shit fucking drooping.
Yep.
I don't want to risk my pickles hitting the floor. So yeah, but I had a really difficult time stringing tricks together, and I feel like it might just be because I don't have a lot of experience skateboarding, and I'm not like I obviously don't know what any of the tricks are called. So I don't know what the natural progression for a skate combo would be anyway.
Well, I think also in your defense, you're looking at it from like I know you've played Tony Hawk's Underground.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime in any of these ones on the console, they're more arcadey than they are on the handheld. You get less air, I feel like, in the handheld than you do on the console, and so thus leaving less room for these crazy combos that your brain is immediately like, oh, let me throw 3 tricks in,
Yeah.
right?
And then you're like,
Fucking eat
yeah.
shit.
Oh,
yeah.
ow. Yeah.
And part of that is also like in Thug, Tony Hawk's Underground,
Thanks for
you
spelling
progress
that
your
I was like,
you progress your character. Like they get more and more. They're able to get higher air and
like an
do
RPG
things.
element.
Excuse me. Not an RPG element. Just like character. Your character levels up. You've done this many combo. Yeah, like you do a trick this long or a manual for 15 seconds. So now your balance on your manuals is better.
Oh, okay.
And-
So kind of like achievement and unlocks.
Yeah.
In that regard. Okay, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Yeah, nothing like that in this one.
No, it's harder. I totally agree.
This
with
one,
you.
I done it. I appreciated the difficulty curve to it because it wasn't untouchable difficult. It was like, I can't just skate through it. I'm gonna have to put a little time and like kind of get a feel for stringing these together. And
Yeah.
like you land a couple combos and like, I think the coolest one I had some big jump. I got big air on it and then landed in a grind and then like some kind of flip off of the rail into a manual and then held that out, ollied back into a grind and then dropped into something and did it cool. I didn't
Sounds
land
like
it.
you
I
did it
biffed
right.
it. I biffed it actually at the very end, so I didn't get any of that.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was a kind of a bummer. But like I'm still taking some pretty cool point credit for it because I felt pretty good. I nailed
Over
all
half
of it but
of
the
it.
landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the ending there that you kind
which I know is kind of the most important part. But I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
I appreciate you not absolutely flaming me on that.
I remember being a skater kid, and a lot of the other skaters hated these games, the Tony Hawk games, because
Really?
because they made skating look so easy.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
And so like someone would come to the skate park that didn't skate, and they'd be like,
Wow.
"Well, can you they're just like way less impressed than what they were expecting because
Yeah.
they'd played some Tony Hawk or something along those lines. Like it was like,
But I feel like that would be cool. I feel like the odds of you showing up to like, oh, I'm gonna grind out some tricks at the park today, and then then like 2 people in like polos show up. They're like, yeah, my mom bought me this game. Now I can skate, and they try to drop into the bowl and just fall on their face. I feel like that would be a good time for most skaters.
that's a good time.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. But like it was more of I think like when your friends aren't skaters
Oh,
and they're coming to hang out at the skate park and they're just like,
that wasn't that cool.
yeah,
I can do a fucking crazy amount of tricks in this game.
That's
Okay,
that's
yeah,
where
that would drive me
that's
nuts.
where that annoyance would come from.
I have not broken every toe on both of my feet several times to hear you talk shit about my passion.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to ollie this thing off the ground, then land it onto a rail and do a board slide. Like, it's one of the easier parts of skateboarding.
Oh.
But for someone that can't even ollie, like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I suppose if like '90s hacker movies just never got any better, and that's just always how hacking. Well, it's honestly
Still,
not that
yeah, I
much
was
better.
gonna say, it's
Actually,
still,
I thought
yeah.
about that for even a second. I was like, well,
Yeah, and people do hate him. You know, like in those communities, they.
I do. That shit does drive me nuts, and I always have to say so. I can't. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like, actually, he wouldn't be able to do that. Those networks are not connected at all. I hate doing that shit, but I also can't help it. It drives me nuts. I'm like, that's not what computers do. That's not how they work. It's not what they look like. It's not even remotely close.
I always love the like when there's like the visual going in.
Yeah, it looks like
the
one of those
network.
old school like audio visualizers
Uh-huh.
from like back in the day.
There's like all these like square looking buildings that are actually
Yeah.
servers.
Yeah, let me get the file, and like all these rectangles open up and like just cascading down. You're like, no, no. Or I'm gonna copy these files over, and then hundreds of files open up in cascading order, and you're like, that. You just get a loading bar. You just get a
Or
loading
like,
bar.
I don't know anything about this shit, but I know well enough of like, oh man, he's really good, and they're like having a hacking battle like while they're
Yeah.
typing code out. Like I don't think that's how that works at all. Like I'm stopping him from getting in by. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I mean, like, are there? Yeah, there's some of that kind of stuff that does and can still happen in that kind of situation. But most hacking is just it's done at 3 a.m. in your boxers, you know, with bloodshot eyes. Just, you've been staring at the screen for 2 days. It's a lot less glamorous than the movies make it out to be sure. Although I will say I couldn't give you a single example right now, but I love the ones where they actually try to use terminology and like try to be somewhat accurate, but like they just got a guy who kind of knows the buzzwords, or maybe he was like their sound tech. He's like, well, they call me when they can't figure out how to sign into their email. So yeah, make
Like,
that guy figure it out.
Oh no, he's using the modem.
Yeah, like, oh, not the modem. It's like, that is clearly a television. This shit always cracks me up. What is that? What's that big one? I think it's got John Travolta in it. Is that like a hackers movie? Is it John Travolta or is it? Oh Jesus!
There's one big hacker movie that I think of,
Huh.
and that's Hackers.
That might be the one I'm thinking of too.
John Travolta, I do not believe is in
That's
that.
fair.
At all.
Honestly, it was a slim chance.
Matthew
that was,
Lillard is in it.
yeah.
Angelina Jolie is in it.
That's exactly the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Don't think John
missed
Travolta
casting opportunity with John Travolta. I
Who,
could've-
who would you like John Travolta to be? The bad guy?
yeah, dude.
No, he's like the
Just
perfect
a young John
nerd
Travolta.
looking dude that wears like a long leather jacket, like a trench coat leather jacket.
Oh, like
The Matrix dudes.
what's his name from
Yeah.
Grandma's Boy?
Yep, that exact guy.
How can he see me?
Yeah, I have his name on the tip of my tongue. It's like Jake or something like. It's like a really simple name.
Jamie?
Jamie.
Oh.
That sounds about right. That does. I think you're.
Is it Jamie?
It's Jamie. I'm 100% saying it.
Oh man, see, like I feel like the cadence and the sound, like phonetically of the name is there. But like Jamie feels like does not feel right.
Well, it seems like, because it's a girl's name, like that would make sense that they give it to him.
Yeah.
And, like
God, that's such a good movie though.
it is excellent.
I fucking love that movie.
I feel like that's a movie that did not do well when it first released.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, cult classic.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Sure.
And I also feel like, and I think I'm wrong, but I feel like it was one of those, it released to DVD. Like it didn't have a theater release.
That wouldn't surprise. That was a pretty raunchy movie for its time.
Yeah.
Even, yeah. Because, like, I feel like that was around the time of, like, American Pie and shit like that. When we were kind of first starting to dabble
Yeah, but
in
having a
raunchy
movie that
television.
was like that much weed.
Yeah, it was like, I would say, especially when it had to do with smoking
Yeah.
weed. It's
And
not
that-
just like kids having sex in college. It's like, no, they're smoking the doobies.
And I guess, like, it does make sense totally that it's a stoner movie. But
Yeah.
something about that movie, and because of me growing up, and that was a movie that we always watched, like, smoking weed in high school. Like, you'd get stoned and watch Grandma's Boy.
Damn, I was about to agree with you. And I was like, we had very different experiences. I watched
like-
it for the first time when I was like 20.
But I associate it with people getting stoned, and they're like, let's watch Grandma's Boy. That's
Yeah,
how like
absolutely.
it's kind of a weed heavy movie, but it's not the heaviest. It's not like Harold and Kumar, you know.
But it's just in that same vein. Like, you don't watch Requiem for a Dream sober.
I did. I don't
Oh.
think I would ever watch it on drugs.
Oh, really?
Have you ever seen Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah.
Why would you watch that on drugs? It's about the
Because
how
I
terrible
didn't
drugs
know
are.
if I didn't know the first time. Like, that one's not on me. Like, I was presented with this excursion, unbeknownst of what was about to happen. Like, I had no clue. I was like, dude, the
that movie is
baby
why I was
that
afraid
fucked
of
me
drugs.
up. Yeah.
Isn't that Train Spotting that has a baby, or does Requiem for a Dream have a baby?
Oh
in it
shit!
too?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Either they may as well be the same movie. They
Yeah,
both make me
yeah.
feel the same way.
I watched both those movies in like one sitting.
Oh,
Maybe not one sitting, but within like a couple of days of each
oh,
other.
Jesus! You have to go. You have to go sleep outside after those. You need to like feel the earth against your
Somehow
skin.
I got put down the loop of I was recommended because of Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
Oh, good one.
I was recommended Requiem for a Dream,
Oh,
and then Train Spotting from Requiem for a Dream.
in that order? No,
In that order,
bro.
Like what? How the fuck do those two movies relate to Eternal Sunshine?
Eternal Sunshine. It's another
Like,
beautiful, sad movie, but like
Cinematographically,
not.
it's like yeah, I don't.
No, one of these makes me weep for or two of these, sorry, make me weep for humanity, and the other one makes me feel sad in a happy way. Like an artsy, beautiful.
Yeah,
Life is complex,
yeah.
but it's really pretty too.
No, that's the reason why I feel like why I was freaked out by drugs. Absolutely, was from watching both of those movies.
Oh
in
man,
a short
at the
amount
beginning of the
time.
movie when like it's just that close-up shot of the eyeballs dilating.
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck yeah, drugs,
Fuck yeah,
bro."
drug movie. Yeah, I'm all about it. I remember
Anybody
feeling
got
the same
any?
way.
Let's go. Yeah, and then well, then you're
all
just
goes
high.
so
and it's-
bad.
dude,
Yeah,
that movie.
and it makes so much sense of why it all goes the way that it does, and it just does such a great job of illustrating
it's so good.
drug addiction and
Yeah, fuck, man.
how quickly things can get out of hand.
So, dude, I wish that movie wasn't so accurate. It's
and another good movie in that vein that I feel like I watched at the very same in that same time
God.
frame. Party Monsters, is that what it was called? Where it had Macaulay Culkin in it.
what?
You never saw this?
I've never heard of it.
Oh my God! It's Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green.
What?
Yeah,
Well, that sounds good.
it is. It is an amazing movie.
Huh?
But it's got it's a dark
God damn
movie
it.
because it's about the drug scene, like the drug rave scene in the 90s in New
shit.
York.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was 80s, I don't know. But yeah.
God, dude.
And Macaulay Culkin moves out the New York wanting to be an actor and ends up meeting Seth Green through some shit, and they are kind of like, we're gonna make it, but they're just like getting fucked in this drug scene.
Jesus Christ.
It is it's cool. Highly recommend. I want
I'll have to
to
check that
watch
out.
I want to watch that again.
We should do a movie night sometime soon.
But that's another movie that then later on in life you do drugs and it's just ringing out in the back of your head.
yeah,
a
you're
little
like, how
bit.
far from that are you?
Yeah, and
Are you
this
close
feels
to it, do you think?
uncomfortably like that one scene.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God, dude. Yeah, that's. Oh, I have too many of those. I just I remember just waking up in different hotel rooms every day, and just like, what are we doing? What is going on?
Like you realize this train ride is fucking madness, but you cannot.
Yeah, you're like, where am I getting off, dude? The
Yeah,
train
there's-
isn't stopping.
no.
Like, we're.
And anywhere I get off is bad. Maybe if I
Yeah.
wait, there might be a better spot to get off on.
Oh, dude, the biggest lie everyone tells themselves.
Yeah.
I'll just wait. It'll get better. Yeah.
Like there's got to be a better spot to hop
Like,
off.
right up there with, no, I'm in control.
Well, and then that one's not even just for drugs. That's just for fucking.
Yeah,
life.
that's just life 101, baby.
Well, speaking of losing control, we've lost total control of this downhill jam.
This downhill jam. Yeah, good game. Honestly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. I think that you would have felt the same way as me if you'd played the other one first.
Yeah, I think.
I'm glad you didn't.
No, I am too. I think then I like going from. I like going from the shittier version of something to the nicer version, especially when I actually find a way to appreciate the shittier one, and then get to experience its elevated form.
Yeah,
Love that.
Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, I don't know why I said that like it was such a unique perspective. I have. Like no one else likes
I thought you were
doing
just
that.
being like sarcastic, like, yeah, thanks, man. I'm obviously that.
I also, you'd be surprised to know that I also eat my least favorite foods first, and then save the delicious for the last.
Wow, that's crazy. I also do that.
Wow, that's so weird and quirky.
That's kind of like how like you know someone's talking and you just decide to like count the number of letters in the words that they said, and then you
That
have
one's
to
still
make it
just you.
even. And
Sorry, buddy.
oh,
I forget that you do that.
I don't do it so much.
It seems
anymore.
it's so uncharacteristically autistic for you. I love that about you.
Like it's that is my
Like honest to God, like if I was designing us, I would have thought that was something that should have been in my column.
yeah, definitely
honestly.
not a numbers guy. So it's really weird that's.
And I feel like I should be, but I'm not. My brain's like, yeah, numbers, we know about them.
But you know, it does make sense with me
Mm.
having that. A truly good autistic person would know how many letters are in like every word because of that. But I'm dumb. And then rather than making this job easier on myself and remembering how many words are in like remember or how many letters are in remember just every single after hearing it and typing it out in my head so many times to do this.
Yeah.
I should have just memorized that, but I don't. I just I like count it out while people are talking and then don't pay attention to what they're saying. So it makes sense that I do it that way.
No, I hear you. I don't think we have time in this episode for us to talk about how my brain visualizes math. It's not pretty. It's pretty. It's a little chaotic. It's very chaotic.
Mine's easy because I can't do math.
I cut things down into shapes.
Oof, that's
Yeah, I cut numbers down into shapes, and like
bad. I feel
it's
like.
pretty rough, dude. It's like I play Tetris with numbers, and sometimes pieces get lost.
Yeah, I bet. Can you show your work?
Can I show my work?
Yeah, like
I mean, like if I'm actually doing math on paper, yeah, absolutely.
no, but can you show the work of how it works in your brain?
Oh
on the
yeah,
paper?
like I could.
I'd love to have been the teacher that's just like grading papers, and then all of a sudden there comes Ed's paper with just like squares and triangles and all this.
And
like,
then just
weird,
like a number circled at the
and
end.
it's the right answer. You're like, all right.
It helps if you
Take
play
this
the
kid to
Tetris theme when you
therapy.
read it. Take this kid, yeah, seriously. Oh God, yeah, no. I had a big fetish for geometric shapes, and like symmetry and shit like that.
Is
And
that
I was,
the word you want to use?
yeah,
All right.
I was big ups for it. A big boner,
Big boner.
big boner, oh, careful, Ed's dad. I was gonna say big boy boner. Actually, no, I stand by that. Big boy boner. In
Okay.
fact, I'm getting that shit tattooed on me. Triple B, not the Better Business Bureau.
Shout out to the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, shout out to those
Thanks
guys.
for looking out.
Yeah, thanks for looking after our interests as the
Yeah.
consumer, making sure that we're protected.
Fuck the employees.
Yeah. Wait, what? Fuck the employees.
Yeah.
Why? What do the employees do?
Fuck them.
Wait, what's the BBB's employees?
No, BBBs are making sure that they're taking care of the customers, but fuck the employees.
Oh, yeah. We don't give a shit about workers' rights.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure that.
Consume.
Yeah, we just want to consume.
Buy DS games.
Yeah. Ooh, buy
Make
DS
my games more valuable.
Listen to our podcast.
Are you a ghost now? Are you?
I don't know, man. It just kind of happened.
Well,
This is me.
I think we've rode this hill as far as we can ride it.
Rode this hill out, baby. It's been ridden as hard as it can ride.
What are we riding next?
What are we riding next? What did we decide? We had talked about it.
It's not Okami.
It's Okamiden.
Okamiden.
Yeah, it's the Love Child, not quite sequel, not a spin-off, standalone game, I think. of
said spiritual
the Okami
successor, and I
That's
just
what
always
that's
thought that it was
just like a port.
yeah, or like just another yeah, a port, I guess, but not really a port because I thought it was a game specifically made for the DS from the series.
Hmm.
But having read that,
It is a spiritual successor.
Successor.
I don't know what to expect. It's but yeah, it's the follow up game to Okami, I guess, which I think was originally released for the Wii.
PS2.
Really?
I want to say PS2.
I thought that game was built specifically for like the point controls.
No, it's PS2. Absolutely,
What?
100%. It came out before the Wii.
No way.
Yeah,
Because I remember
there might be a
think I
remake.
played it on the Wii. I
There's
think
probably a
that's how I
remake
played
on
it.
the Wii.
Yeah, actually, I think I have. I think it's on Steam too. Even
It's also
maybe.
on Switch now.
Or maybe that's where I played it. I don't remember. Either way, beautiful game. Love the Japanese watercolor art style.
Yeah,
And just kind of a good
the
adventure game.
yeah, it got a great Zelda feel to it.
Yeah, big Zelda vibes. Love the little characters. Again, the art style, the environment. It's all it meshes very well, and they do a really good job with like mechanics progression, which I think is really big for that type of game. If your mechanics sucks in terms of gameplay and how those, I guess, are leveraged throughout, fuck, I don't care anymore. If there's no hook shot, I don't want to play.
I don't think there's gonna be a hook shot.
Grappling hook?
I don't know. You're a dog.
Well, you get a fucking kind of a grapple thing that you can do in Zelda and when you turn into the wolf in Twilight
Because
Princess.
you have what's her name? Impa or something like that?
Midna.
Midna on your fucking back was a giant monster hand.
Yeah,
that
she's
you
got
can use.
that big ass arm that comes out. And
I mean,
grabs shit.
maybe Okamiden will have something that will
Yeah.
help him along the way too.
Yeah, I'll be
We'll
interested.
See if you even get that far.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably sink some time into this game. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
Okami, so
I'm looking forward to this. I totally forgot that this existed.
I didn't know it existed at all until it rolled up.
Yeah.
What a pleasant surprise.
Well, hell yeah, dudes. We'll catch you on the next tubular episode of Pocket Cast.
Far out, man.